Hi, YouTube family. Welcome to my channel. If you're here for the first time, I am Tiffany Renee, and this is Fame with Tiffany Renee. Freedom of artistic means of expression is what it means. And this is a great community, safe space where we talk about metaphysics, quantum physics, spirituality, all things vibration, energy, mindset, all of those good, delicious things, and try to apply them to this current 3D reality that we're living in and just elevating ourselves and making ourselves better. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate all of you. I love reading your comments. Every time I get one, I like get super excited, and I like really try to answer like almost immediately. As soon as I see them, I'm like responding because I'm just so full of gratitude. I appreciate you all so much, and I love hearing you all's success stories because it's just it's so dope. Like I love it. I love it when things, especially like stuff that seemed impossible, happen, and it just like blows a freaking mind, right? Which is the topic of this video. Now, if you watched my last video about how I manifested meeting R&B singer Her, manifestation success story, I did mention that this is a kind of walk by faith, not by sight type of video. And I'm considering doing like a little series about that because there's been so many times when I've manifested things, and I mean deliberate manifestation. Remember, we're manifesting all the time. Like, that's how we're alive. So when I say manifestation, I mean deliberate manifestation. I mean bringing something into my life that was not there and had no possible means of being there in any way, shape, or form, and having to call it from a different reality, out of the quantum field, or wherever, out of the nothingness out there in the ethers, and have it materialize in my 3D reality for me to have or to experience. That's what I mean. And I might do a series about that because I've had so many incredible, just absolutely incredible things that's happened to me and to, other people in my life. Really, the whole walking by faith and not by sight thing, like you just trusting that things are going to work out even when it doesn't look like it. So this is another one of those stories, another manifestation success story. Yes, you guessed it, it is another concert. Okay. um, I talk about concerts a lot because that's kind of like been my biggest, I don't know, some of my biggest manifestations and successes have come from concerts. You know what I mean? And I guess I maybe don't have a lot of resistance there either. So, we're working on some of the other areas of my life as well. But they're fun. It's what I like to do. I love to paint. I love going to concerts. Like that's my thing now. Like that became my thing a few years ago, and it's just been my thing, right? So let's get into this story. Okay, we are going to talk about how I manifested going to see New Edition and Janet Jackson at the Kentucky Derby concert this past Derby weekend, 2022. Okay, so I was devastated maybe a month or so ago when New Edition was in Cincinnati and I didn't have a chance to go. My energy was off. I could not call forth the means. Like I had done a painting for them and everything, and just everything was like a no, 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 right? And then the day of the show came, and it was just like, okay, my intuition was just like, don't even chance it. Like, it's not it, not this time. And I was so devastated that I couldn't go, right? Because I've never seen all six of them perform at the same time. I was really sad. I had to announce it on my social media because I had been telling people that I was going. Like I just knew I was going. And then suddenly things took a turn and I just wasn't able. So I was just like so sad and just completely devastated, right? That being said, I let it go and I just said, not this time. Not this time. Like I was sad. Yeah, I definitely was. My friends knew I was really sad at everything. And, they had to remind me as well, like, okay, Tiffany, but that you're the queen of the concert. So if you weren't able to make it to one or two, clean up your vibration of whatever's going on in there and start manifesting it again. You know what I mean? Because there'll be another opportunity. And I'm like, you're right. I know how to do this. Let me get it together. And there was another opportunity. Also, Janet Jackson had a tour planned called the Black Diamond Tour. And it went on sale. Like the tickets went on sale like February of 2020. And I spent like an entire paycheck and a little bit. And I got a front row seat ticket in Kentucky for the KFC Yum Center to see her, to see Janet Jackson, right, on her tour. The concert was going to be in August of 2020, but the tickets went on sale February 2020. She was also going to perform at the Cincinnati Jazz Fest, which she's going to be doing this year because it all had to be canceled. So because of the pandemic, everything got canceled, including her tour. First it was postponed, which I was totally fine, but then it ended up being completely canceled. I think like late, like June. I think it was maybe June of 2020 or something. It ended up being completely canceled. And when I tell you the level of devastation, I cried for at least like 3 days because I was heartbroken, right? And I was like, I mean, she may never tour again. Like, I may never have this opportunity to see her again. Like, are you kidding me? The one time I had a front row seat to see Janet Jackson? What? Okay. I was devastated. So the fact that both of them, okay, it was announced that there's a soccer stadium there, and there was this new promotion company, and they wanted to start bringing more like urban acts and people of color and just entertainment to Derby weekend, right? And this was this particular promotional company's first concert, and they booked New Edition and Janet Jackson. And New Edition is still on tour, from what I understand. Like, they were still on their regular tour, the Culture Tour. And they stopped in Kentucky, and they were going to perform. And it was like just this biggest thing. It was like in Louisville, Kentucky. And apparently it was going to be this huge deal because a bunch of celebrities, I guess, go to Derby. And it was a huge deal because of the promoters. It was all black promoters. It was like their first show, and then it was New Edition and Janet Jackson, and it was Derby weekend, and it was all so much hype. Okay, and the only people that were really selling seats for the longest time was SeatGeek. Like, that was it. Like, there weren't a lot of places you could buy tickets, and those tickets were selling like hotcakes, right? It was like the hottest ticket in town, and I wanted to go. Of course I did. I decided that I was going to go. I had to be there. And I still had my painting that I originally did for New Edition for their Culture Tour. I still had that. And it was framed. I had framed it. And then I ended up doing a painting for Janet. And I put that in even a bigger, prettier frame, heavier frame. And I had my outfit that I was going to wear to the New Edition concert. And I had mixed it up with a couple of pieces to try to make it kind of New Edition / Janet / Rhythm Nation. I had the earring with the key and all that, okay? And I said, I'm going to make this happen. Mind you, once again, like my previous video about meeting her, I had no money and I had no ticket. I had enough money for gas to get to Kentucky and get back home, right, to Indiana, and to pay for parking. And that was it. And I said, you know what? I feel like this is a second chance. This is another opportunity for me to see both of them. So I'm supposed to be there. I was like, what are the odds that the two entertainers that I really wanted to see that I couldn't see because of, just things out of my control, both of them were going to be on the same stage. I was like, okay, universe, I feel like you're talking to me. I feel like you put this concert together for me. Okay. I'm just going to decide that this is my concert and you put it together for me. And so I am supposed to be there, like, period. Like, I'm supposed to be there. And I acted like I was going. People were like, oh, well, can you do that? No, I'm not going to be here. I'm going to be in Kentucky. I'm gonna be in Kentucky that Saturday. Yeah, I'm driving up to Kentucky, so no, I'm not gonna be able. Like, listen, acting as if, never got a technique, never failed. Like, act as if, and I was acting as if. Okay, hard. Um, I was very nervous because it was out of state. I've never been to this venue. I don't know the people. I usually reach out ahead of time, let them know hamburger and pay. I didn't do any of that. It was like cold turkey, like just straight. We just gonna trust that everything is going to work out when I get there. And I kept affirming it. The night before, I did draw it out. The night before, of me like being close to the stage, where they would be like singing or whatever, and all that, and me being able to meet them or whatever. And I did meet Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike once before, back in 2019 when they were on the RBRM tour, and was able to give them a painting. And so I thought, okay, well, maybe they'll remember me, and then I'll be able to like give all of them, 6 of them, this particular painting, and just stuff like that. And so all these things were going through my head. I'm like, I know they're huge stars, and I know Janet Jackson is a huge star, like freaking icon, like huge, one of the biggest stars on the planet. Okay, and so there was some doubt there. There was a lot of doubt there. Okay, just because of the magnitude of how big, especially Janet is. And I had to keep like bringing it back down, like, but she's just a person. She's just a person. She's just like anybody, like any of the other huge artists that you've met. Like, yes, people place Janet like on a huge pedestal because she's Janet Jackson, right? But I had to keep saying she's just a regular person. She's just like all the other artists who I've given paintings to. It's okay. It's cool. It's not a big deal. I had to keep talking myself down to take her off of this giant pedestal, to try to make it more realistic for me. Okay? Because I would have freaked myself out. And it would have gotten in the way of my acting as if practice. Okay? So fast forward, it is now the night of the show. It is Saturday, and I am in my car. I'm posting in my outfit. Okay, I'm about to see y'all. Again, no money, no ticket. So even if there were tickets available, I would have no money. And then I always want to be in the front, you know what I mean? So I've been looking for like front row seats. At this point, there was one particular section I wanted to be in, either field number 3 or field number 4, because those were the closest to the stage, where the stage was built. And I'm like, at this point, universe, I was even looking at how it looked online, and I said, really, any of the first 5 rows would be really good. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I would be okay with any of the first 5 rows, but I really want my front row. But whatever the path of least resistance is, if it isn't the front row, I would be okay with any one of 1 through 5, close to the stage. Because I'm like, those would be really good seats, regardless, based on how I looked at the diagram. And I prayed when I was leaving, and I just affirmed that this is going to work out for me. And I asked to I call them golden light people, put golden light people in my path. And those are the people who are going to be connecting my bridge of incidents. People that are going to be connecting the dots and connecting everything to get me inside the show and have the experience that I want. I drove to Kentucky. I paid for my parking. I arrived. I had to walk up because I had to park kind of far away in the faraway parking lot. I walked up the hill holding these 2 paintings, one of them not very light. And I just happened to turn down the right gate because I thought I was going to like near the box office. But it turned out that I was actually going like where the entertainers come in and out. And once again, I met a really cool security dude. He was really nice. And, I gave my business card, and they went and got a multitude of other security people. And they were just like, okay, well, hold on. Let me try to find somebody because Janet's not here yet, but let me try to find somebody from her camp. Okay, let me get somebody from New Editions. Like, it was a lot of that going on, right? Because it was a lot of security. And in the meantime, this other gentleman is just kind of hanging out. And I won't say his name because I didn't ask, permission to talk about him or anything like that, like to disclose his name or anything. But he was really nice gentleman. I will call him Sam. That is not his name, but I will call him Sam. So there's this gentleman, Sam. Now, mind you, I didn't know who he was. I didn't know his name. We were just casually, just small talk. He looked at my paintings. He was like, oh, that's really cool. And he was saying how he actually worked as, building the stage, but he didn't work that particular show. He was just trying to get in or whatever to see if he could get his access pass or whatever. And so he was waiting on that. In the meantime, I did see New Edition Security, who I had met before. And then I had met the DJ who I had met before. And, they were all like, okay, we'll try to help you. We'll try to see. We'll try to, figure stuff out. And then ultimately, one of the brothers, Michael Bivens' brother, he came out and he collected the painting for New Edition. And he was just talking about like some of the other celebrities that were going to be there. And I saw, I think his name was Alan Hill, I think, from BET. I think he was there. Like, there's a bunch of entertainers that were there. Like, I even took a picture with one of them. Anna Nicole Smith's ex-husband or boyfriend, Danny Lynn's father. He was like all over the news when Anna Nicole Smith passed. He was there. He was actually down the front row. He was very, very nice. Like, we took a picture together. We had, a nice little conversation. He was very nice. So he was there. I met Ralph Tresmont's stepmom. She was there, and she said Tyler Perry had just walked past her. So it was a huge event. Okay. People were there. Okay. Celebrities, actors, actresses, athletes like Drake and Jack Harlow were at Churchill Downs during the races. Like, it was a huge deal. Like, celebrities come out for Derby, right? But especially for this one, because of Janet Jackson and New Edition. Okay. So I'm there. I think Obama was there. Like, it was just a whole bunch. It was so much stuff, right? So I was told there's going to be a whole bunch of security because, you got all these other people come in, important people, blah, blah, blah. And so they were like, you may not be able to come backstage because of this new extra security they're adding because of all these other celebrities and political figures that were going to be showing up any minute. And I was like, oh, okay, bless, that's fine. But he took it for me. And then they got Janet's personal assistant, like personal assistant, right? And, came out. I introduced myself and gave the painting and everything. And I was thanked for it and was told she's not here yet, but, I'll make sure she gets it, blah, blah, blah. And then later on, I didn't see her choreographer, who she also works very, very, very closely with. And I saw him after the show. We took a picture together, and he did say that I saw the painting, she has it, blah, blah. And she liked it. So I was like, oh my God, yay, right? So the paintings were delivered, done. I was sitting out there the whole time, though, because it took a minute before someone could come out and get the artwork, right? In the meantime, Sam is just chilling. He's talking and mingling with other people who he knows, who he sees, blah, blah, blah. And then it turns out that he couldn't get, whatever the pass was. He wasn't able to get it. And so he, comes to me because now, it's like 7 something or whatever, like 7:15 or whatever. And the show started at 8. And I'm just kind of just standing there because I'm like, okay, well, I drove all the way to Kentucky, but I am supposed to be here. So in my mind, I'm like, something is going to transpire. And then he comes over and he's like, well, I didn't come out here for nothing. And I live here in Louisville. So I'll buy us both tickets because I hate going to concerts by myself. And I was like, that is hilarious because I always go to concerts by myself. Like, I love going to concerts by myself, right? So like 99% of every concert I've ever gone to, I've gone by myself. So it was really interesting that we have completely different, like total opposite experiences with concerts. And he didn't want to go by himself. And so he was like, I'll buy us tickets. And I said, are there any left? You know what I mean? And he was like, well, I don't know. I'm going to see. So he was on his phone and I went on my phone looking on some third-party sites and I found 2 tickets, only 2. You had to buy them in pairs, right? They weren't sold separately. 2 tickets, okay, were left in the section that I wanted to be in, field number 3. And there were 2 tickets. And I showed them to him. I said, this is how much they cost. And he said, okay. And I said, I don't have such and such amount of money to pay for my ticket. And he was like, I don't care. And he whips out his credit card. That's when I found out his name, when he was giving me his credit card information to pay for our tickets to get in. You see how the universe works? You see how God worked that out. Okay. Golden light people, right? He paid for both of our tickets, which was a decent amount of money. Okay. Even though it was last minute, we walked in, we found our seats. Check this out. It was seat number 1 and 2 on the aisle, right next to the rail on the side of the stage, which is what I put in my drawing, to be on the side of the stage. So that part came true. I can't make this up. Like, I can't make it up. I can't, right? So I couldn't believe it that we were literally right there. And we were 5th row. I said that I would be good between rows 1 and 5. We ended up getting 5th row, the last 2 seats, and it just happened to be seat number 1 and 2, right on the aisle, the closest to the stage. He was so nice, okay? Okay, before y'all want to ask, no strings attached. There was no shenanigans. He was a perfect gentleman. He went and got me some water. Like, he was funny. He was animated. He was mingling with all the other people. Like, he was just so cool. It was literally as if, and his real name was actually the name of one of my grandfather who had passed away. One of my grandfathers. And I told him, I was like, oh, that's my grandfather's name. And he was like, see, I just felt your energy. I just felt your energy. See, that's God. That's the ancestors. Everyone was watching over us. That's how we got these seats, because everyone was watching over us. And I just felt your energy. I was just like, she got real good energy. She just really got really, really good energy. So yeah, I'm going to bring her to the concert too. Like, what? What? And like I said, it was a good chunk of change. Okay. I'm still floored by that. And like I said, he was just like we fist bumped. Like it, like that's it. There was no mess. There was no nothing. And at the end, I gave him a hug, right? Because he was just, I gave him a hug and I thanked him so much. And I was just like, oh my gosh, God bless you. Like, you're going to get it. His only thing was pay it forward. Pay it forward. Sir, I will pay it forward as many times as I need to, honey. That was a huge, huge, mind-blowing blessing. Huge. For me to have driven 120 miles to go see a show that I had no ticket and no money to see in the first place, and to just have those paintings and be at the gate at that time when Sam came up and was trying to do his thing, and for him to just simply pick up on my energy or my vibration, he was placed there. That's what I believe. I think he was placed there because he was part of the bridge of incidents through the path of least resistance. So his thing wasn't supposed to work out. He wasn't supposed to get, like, his free pass or whatever, because he was supposed to be there to purchase a ticket for me. Even though he was like, hey, if, my boss come out, if I get 2 passes, I'll give you one. But I think the probability of that was probably less likely or whatever. So I think it was denied as a redirection. Like, a rejection is a redirection. It's God's redirection is what the saying is. And we were being redirected. Like, he was being redirected from getting, from thinking he was going to get in one particular way. He was being redirected to get in a different way because he was supposed to bring me into walking by faith and not by sight. Again, disclaimer, I am not recommending that anybody drive long distances or get in a plane and, like, fly to Tahiti or whatever, or do whatever just off of on a whim like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're inspired to do it and you feel confident enough that I'm going to do this thing, and I may not have the resources, I may not have any of that, but it is going to work out for me, best case scenario. If you know that and you're acting as if, and you're trusting enough to even take that step, then it just might work for you. Because how many times have we been told that we can't do something, or told that something wasn't possible for us because of one reason or another. Like, how many times in our lives have we been denied something based off of a multitude of things, whatever? Sorry, because you're not smart enough, or you're not pretty enough, or you're not educated enough, or you're not skinny enough, you're not thick enough, you're not tall enough, you're not short enough, you're not, you don't have the look, you don't have the brains, you don't have the experience, you don't have the this, you don't have the that, or that's just how life is, that's just how history is, that's just what life is like. How many times have you been discouraged from taking the first step into something because of some limiting belief? Whether it's one that you picked up or something that was imposed upon you. Like, how many times has that happened? And you just threw in the towel and said, okay, well, then I guess that's just what it is. It's not for me. I'm not even going to try. Some religious people use this saying that God honors faith. Some other people say God helps those who help themselves, which I understand, depending on the context of it. I understand from my perspective what that means. And I think that means you have to take the first step in faith. Just like the Martin Luther King quote, you don't have to see the whole staircase, just take the first step. That's what faith is. Just take the first step. You don't have to see the whole staircase. But if you take the first step, the next step will be revealed to you. It takes so much courage, and it's just now sinking in. It takes so much courage and trust to step out on faith like that. Being afraid, not knowing what's going to happen, feeling a lot of doubt, but still deciding, I feel all of these emotions and I'm still getting my manifestation because it is for me, right? It's for me. And I got to see New Edition and got my life. I got to see Janet Jackson and got my life, right? And I was in the front, I was in the fifth row, which were like really awesome. You know what I mean? Because the rows weren't very far apart. So I was still close. I could still see. I mean, I'm short, so it was kind of difficult sometimes because the stage was really, really high and then the lights were tall. So sometimes it was kind of hard to see. But, they came down onto the ramp, onto the walkway. You know what I mean? Obviously, I got great footage. I saw her. I'll post a couple of pictures at the end of this. I got a couple of stills, a still of New Edition and a still of Janet. And, I definitely, I was so just impacted by Sam's kindness and his generosity and how respectful he was, and just everybody is not a jerk, okay? There are truly good people in this world, and in order for a lot of our manifestations to transpire into 3D reality, people are being used to help you create your bridge of incident to get you where you want to go, right? So I think it's so important to not look at or not label people as horrible. Like, oh, all people suck, or all people are jerks, or all people are, crappy, or all people are just out for themselves, whatever, because that's not true. Because people are being used to get you to your blessings. People are being used as a bridge of incidents to get you what it is that you want to achieve or what you want to experience in this life. It takes people to do that, right? And I think, people are used in the most miraculous ways. We really are. Think of the people who you've blessed, who, needed something, or you did something for somebody just out the kindness of your heart, or because you did something, or you didn't do something, or you moved a certain way, and it was exactly what another person needed. You were there to fulfill whatever the need was of that other person. It was as if you just came out of thin air for that person. It's because this person was praying for something or was trying to manifest something, and the bridge of incidents included you being able to provide whatever you needed to provide, whether it was that good word, whether it was the money, whether it was the job, whether it was the opportunity, whether it was the relationship, whether it was the circumstance, whether it was the car, whether it was, the bill being paid, whether it was the birthday gift, whether it was the words of encouragement, whatever it was that that person needed, you were the conduit, or you were the channel through which that person was able to get that thing. So you have been used. We've been used in people's lives to better their lives, to fulfill their blessings. So let's just talk more positively and uplift our perspective on people in general. Because individuals may do things that make you feel sour and want to dampen how you feel about people. It's not people in general. It's usually certain individuals or certain small groups of people that you notice, or that you're aware of, or that you've seen, or that you experience negative things from. But let's not generalize the entire human race based on certain things that individuals have done to us, or that we've seen individuals do that we don't agree with. Let's not put a blanket statement out there to say that all people suck, or all people are terrible, or you can't trust people, or, humanity has gone to pot, or I've lost faith in humanity. To lose faith in humanity is to lose all faith in yourself, because you are having a human experience. While we're in this flesh body, we are labeled as human beings. So even though we come from light and we're made from light and love, we are having a human experience nonetheless. And so to say that you've lost faith in humanity is simply you losing faith in yourself, and what you see is a reflection of that. So if you don't have faith in humanity, you don't have faith in yourself. And the universe is going to make sure you get evidence to support that. And you're going to be given all types of things shown to you to further solidify that belief that you have no faith in humanity. And you're just going to be shown all types of horrible, horrible things to support that. It's a vibrational thing more than anything else. It is a vibrational thing. And I will talk more about this in my next video that I want to talk about when it comes to pretty privilege. It's something that I had seen on YouTube, and I wanted to kind of throw my 2 cents in about it. So check out that next video. It'll be coming probably tomorrow. I'll be filming and uploading that, my thoughts on pretty privilege and privilege in general. So stay tuned for that. But I digress. I just wanted to remind people that the path of least resistance is unknown to us. We don't know what the path of least resistance is going to be. So when you let go and let God, or you let the universal law of attraction and the law of assumption put together the bridge of incidents for you, that's how I operate. Everyone else doesn't operate like that. I am let the universe put the bridge of incidents together for me, because I could not have even planned that. I don't have a bird's eye view. So I couldn't have planned being at that particular gate, meeting up with Sam, and everything transpiring the way it did, and get my entry into one of the hottest shows, okay, that was going on, like the hottest ticket in town. I needed to have a certain measure of faith and trust, even if my faith was only the size of a mustard seed, right? Like, sometimes you got to throw logic out the window. And I've said it in my last video about logic don't let logic kill your manifestations. Because everything logical was like, don't go. Girl, you ain't got no money. You ain't got no this. You don't have no ticket. Girl, you about to drive 120 miles? Absolutely not. With gas prices, oh no. I didn't care. I didn't care. Because I knew that concert was for me. Okay, because I'm like, it's New Edition and it's Janet Jackson, the two people that I've been wanting to see that I did not have a chance to see. I'm going because this concert is for me. I'm about to act as if I'm going, and I'm going to do everything that I would be doing if I was going. I'm getting this hat. I'm about to hook up this outfit. I painted my nails red. All of that, because there was a lot of red in my outfit. I'm like, I'm about to do this, and it's about to be on point, and it's about to be fabulous. And watch me be at that show, and watch me get in. And I got in. So I hope this story just blessed your soul and it uplifted you and made you feel so good. And I hope that it maybe restored some faith in yourself so that you can see how that is being reflected back to you in the world. Because I'm telling you, when you just take a leap of faith, sometimes that is all that's needed. You do not know how things are going to transpire, but I'm telling you, when that man is like Miss Celie, and Miss Sophia was like to Miss Celie, when I see you in that stove, I said, I know there's a God. I know there's a God. Color purple, okay. Listen, that is how I felt when Sam showed up talking about, okay, well, I'm just going to get a ticket for both of us. He didn't even know my name. He didn't know my name. He just said, I felt your energy. You had good energy. Anybody, he could have asked anybody who didn't maybe have a ticket or whatever, hey, come to the show with me. Or he could have just decided to leave. But he didn't want to leave because he felt like, hey, I didn't come here for no reason. I came here to see the show. If I got to pay for a ticket, then I'm going to pay for it. And I'm going to pay for yours too, because you've been standing out here too, waiting to get an answer. You've been waiting too. You've been standing here. You cool. I think you're a great artist. He was introducing me to people. He was like, she's an artist. She a real artist. This is Tiffany. She's an artist. The security guy thought he was my boyfriend or something. I was like, no, I just met him standing out here. He's like, he's buying it, and he buying my ticket. Like, it is amazing the things that will transpire when you just open yourself up to the possibility that good things can happen to you. It is okay for good things to happen to you. It is okay for you to have your mind blown in the best possible way. It is okay to embrace the fact that there are really amazing people on this planet who are part of the path of least resistance to get you what you want, and that maybe you cut off your blessings, you sever the connection when you put up a consistent wall, shutting people out, because we need people to help get us things in this 3D reality. It's just part of things that transpire. Every time I've gotten something incredible, it's because a human being was involved. Whether it was in person, whether it was over the phone, whether it was via email, a human being was involved. If it's something I read, a human being wrote that book. If it's a lecture I heard, a human being gave that lecture. You know what I'm saying? All the manifestation coaches that I listen to and that I follow and who I absolutely adore, like Brown and Bendy, Dominique Davis, Juantez Davis, Roxy Talks, so I talk about all the time, Brian Scott, Tiana Campbell, all these amazing people who I follow. I mean, they're people though. They're humans. So any messages that I get from them, I take what resonates and I leave what doesn't. But it comes through people. And these techniques that I've been learning from, Neville Goddard and Joseph Murphy and, Abraham Hicks and all that. And like, they're people though. Even if messages are being channeled from a higher source, it's being channeled and delivered through people. Right? So when you think about it, like humans, it's like we need each other. We need each other to bridge the gaps to our desires. Because that's just kind of how the 3D at least on Earth. That's how Earth is operating. The human species is being used to help with the origin incidents. So I'm done. I'm done. I've said my piece on that. So just like you people out there who I absolutely love and adore, all of you wonderful YouTube people, thank you. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you for watching my videos. Thank you for your support, because I couldn't, I wouldn't have any of this or have anyone to talk to if there were no people out there to share this with. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Put some of your success stories in the comments, because I know you all have them. I hope this did something and inspired you and uplifted you and let you know that, listen, faith is something pretty awesome. Even when you're scared, just take the first step. Just take the first step. And I will add like a couple pictures at the end. Thank you guys. Take care. Bye.